Make a life for myself. 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 Make a life for myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all over the world, my name is Brandon, aka Rags to Riches, and you are here right now at this fine time in the evening because you have nothing else better to do. And I'm here right now to talk to you guys. I'm actually pretty excited to chit chat. I want to bring up a couple things. Want to show you guys some pretty neat things. Let's check chat here real quick. Barnes or bust. YOLO. All right, Barnes and Bust. David Gomez, Taryn, what's up? Tex Hex, very exciting, absolutely. My Online Ghost, hello all. KD, let's go. Barnes and Bust says, only reason I'm here because I can't put this damn device down. I feel you. Trap Gravity, Brandon has been cloned. No way Pulse Chain is number 3. Trap, just wait. Just wait till you see number 1 and number 2. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. Chad D to the power of 13. Hello, fellow RH product enjoyers. Scott Aswell, what's up? What's up? Chadstown, hey Rags, what the heck? Congress 2021 November signed a bill effective 2024 banning DeFi. I think 3486. Yes, I've seen that. There are some caveats to that. Scott Atwell, let all the beggars have freedom and sovereignty. Thank you, Rags and CHB. Mo digging it. What up, everyone? And what is good? KD. Dude, Hex at 07. Dude, Hex, I'm happy. I'm a happy camper, man. It is taking over right now. Everything's taking a backseat to Hex, and it feels great. I know everybody in here has bags. Guys, you know, I made a post this weekend, and I said this is complete, total, utter vindication for me. Because there are a handful of us, you know, and there are a lot of people who don't have YouTube channels and things that were, you know, doing the right thing here. But, man, we stuck our neck out there in the bull market, and we are sticking up for Hex, and we're defending Hex. How many freaking Hex review videos did I do? The FUD, the live action reaction videos. I mean, it was just like one after another, and they just kept piling in at the bottom and the bottom. Max Bear, Max FUD, and it just feels so great to have Hex leading DeFi right now, being one of the top projects in terms of performance. So that's awesome. All right, I'm going to talk about something here. The first thing that I'm going to say, and I've got this, I want to make sure that I get this correct, okay? Crypto Heartbeat and I are having a private placement memorandum available for investing $3 million in Infinite Development. Infinite Development is a company that Crypto Heartbeat and I are standing up to go legit. We are going to be a software development company, a blockchain development company. Okay. We can provide you with an executive summary for your review. This is for accredited investors only, guys. This is not a donation. This is not a sacrifice. We are aiming to create a decentralized exchange, and we are aiming to push forward blockchain initiatives well into the future. And we are creating this entity, and we can give you this executive summary for you to understand and find out about everything. If you do want access to the full PPM package, we would need you to sign a non-disclosure agreement. And once we receive the signed NDA from you, we will send you the complete PPM package. The minimum is $50,000 for accredited investors, just to let you guys know. And the other thing is, I think it's $200,000 or $300,000 if you are a couple. if you're married, and I think it has to be a net worth of at least $1 million. So our goal here is to essentially raise this money. We're going to build out this DEX. I think $2 million of that is actually going to be used for liquidity initially. And I'm going to play for you the video that Matt and I did today because it's just so thorough. We basically had everything laid out. And I want to make sure that you guys get to see all the details here. So this will be a rerun, but it will be important here. And I will turn this music off and you guys can kind of watch Matt and I chit chat about all the details about what we're going to be doing. All right. And let me go here. We will go to the screen share and then I will maximize this and we'll be good to go. So how do we connect those? How do we connect those together? Going way back. Go back a little bit.
We are going to be creating a freedom ecosystem. And when I say ecosystem, not layer one, this is on the Ethereum side. Do you want to talk about what the freedom ecosystem looks like, Brandon?
Yeah, so like we talked about earlier, we're going to have, Matt, maybe if we could estimate maybe 10 projects that, that we're going to be helping out over the next 5 years. So how do we connect those? How do we connect those together? Going way back, Matt, you and I had discussions about stable coins and you just all sorts of things like that. And there's just so many places that are murky and places to really get tripped up and get in the weeds. But we kind of settled on this concept, which was create a decentralized exchange that tailors and caters to the type of crypto that we're involved with in this ecosystem, and launch this on the Ethereum side. Now, Matt, why would we do that? What's the advantage of having all these tokens with a centralized connector such as Freedom Swap?
Yep. So, folks, we are launching a decentralized exchange that has a very, very interesting tokenomic and component with it on the Ethereum blockchain. It's called Freedom Swap, and there will be an incentive token called UniFyer. And the UniFyer token will unify a bunch of stuff together, and that's the big, big, big news. But in this process, we are going to be launching a decentralized exchange and then an incentive token that unifies all of our projects, as well as some other projects you might be familiar with that have trustless yield. Okay, so our freedom ecosystem is not, we're not building a layer one, we're not competing with Pulse Chain, none of that stuff. Pulse Chain is everything. But what we're doing is we're really, the big story is creating Unifier. And Unifier will tie together all of these communities, and it accomplishes some things that I think are really exciting that you'll be excited about. But Freedom Swap will be a DEX, and Unifier will be an incentive token, and we'll share with you how you get those things. So Freedom Swap is a DEX with constant buy pressure. You've probably heard something like this in the past. And so this is starting with a Uniswap V2 fork, and it provides incentives, obviously, 100% of fees to LPs. And then anyone who's a long-term holder and long-term staker, so the max stake length, has a really unique opportunity to be able to claim the Unifier token. Okay, so the pool fees and everything will go to LPs, and then the protocol fee will go to buy and to burn the Unifier token. So constant buy pressure on a DEX.
So all of the fees that are collected, they are going directly, like he said, to the LP or the buy and burn. This is not a protocol fee that is actually collected by Infinite. That is not what this is. This goes back to the people that are using the exchange.
And the reason we're doing that is because of the regulatory environment. We're not receiving any benefit from the protocol fees or the pool fees. This is a truly decentralized fork of Uniswap V2. But the key to this DEX is that it's going to buy and burn the Unifier token. So you're probably asking yourself, well, how do I get this Unifier token? And that's the coolest part of this whole thing. Anyone who has the max stake length, if you have a 22-year stake with Texan, if you in the future have a 22-year stake with Ophir, and then any of our future projects, every single 30-day period, you will be able to claim the Unifier token. Okay, so because, and we're promoting not only engagement with it having to happen every 30 days, right? So no big wallet can do it once and then dominate everyone. They have to come back every 30 days. So it promotes engagement, obviously, and then it rewards and encourages long stakes. And so
Mhm.
we wanted to do something that would support our community and ecosystem, and that includes the Hexagon community. You want to talk about that, Brandon?
Yeah, so the whole point of Unifier is to cater to, I guess, our style first fundamentals of kind of what Richard talked about. Now, a lot of people are going to be going over to Pulse Chain, including all the projects that we're bringing on board. They're going to be on Pulse Chain as well. So one of the things that we want to do is have a footprint ourselves. We don't want to compete with PulseX. We want to be on the Ethereum side. We want all those folks who are going to be, buying and selling and doing all that on the Ethereum side to be able to do it with a DEX that understands crypto from a fundamental level of how we were taught and how all these people are taught in this ecosystem. So we want to service those folks. With Hex, and in the future, we'll be able to add additional projects to this to be able to go in and be able to claim this based on the fact that you have a stake or not.
Yep. So check this out, folks. Across the top, we've got obviously Texan, we've got Ophir, and then there are going to be other projects that we're going to get very serious about. And we are very serious about taking advantage of these opportunities in this bear market to tokenize communities. We include in that any max length staker. So if you have a 5555 stake in a wallet, you will be able to claim Unifier token. That's big. Okay. So Texan 22 years, Ophir 22 years, or the 15-year 5555 stakes with Hex, you will be able to every 30 days come to it's a contract itself.
And guys, I want to add this real quick, and I think I talk about this in a second. It's not only going to be, we're not going to come out with the details just yet, but let me just say this: it's not only going to be just 5555 stakes or 22-year stakes or potentially HSIs or whatever the case may be. There's going to be some other rules in there that actually encourages buy pressure in each one of these individual projects. So that's what's going to be neat about this. Okay. So projects on the Ethereum side, we might have some incentives, additional incentives, but it's going to incentivize that type of proper behavior. And that's what I'm really excited about too. So I wanted to put that in there. And I think I talked about that here in a second.
So you'll literally come to unifier.com and you will be able to claim every 30 days that token. The beauty of this, though, is that it has constant buy pressure. And so anything that happens on the protocol side is going to buy, and there'll be a public function that will run. So this is completely decentralized, where it will buy and it will burn. Okay. So we'll always be buying the Unifier token. And that probably sounds familiar to you. And that is an incredible tokenomic to promote engagement and people to be max stake holders. The other thing it does that I think is incredible is the fact that it gives you something to sell rather than the core token of your community. And so we want to, as we go out to new communities and we talk to them about, hey, let's say it's the state of Arizona or Idaho, or it's Kazakhstan or Western Cape of South Africa, or the church in Western Africa, whatever it may be, we have something that differentiates us. We have a DEX and we have an incentive token that promotes people in your community staking for the maximum length. They then can always basically come back and claim every single 30-day period this amount of Unifier token that is tied to the amount of principal in their 22-year stake. And so this drives behavior.
Yeah, and there's going to be additional details that come out, Matt, that are actually in a big way, in a strong way, going to promote people creating new Texan stakes,
Yep.
new Hex stakes. That's going to be very, very positive for both communities, apart from even Freedom Swap. So if you want to participate in Freedom Swap and get this Unifier token, we're going to have some details that require, and I don't want to go into too much explanation because I don't want to give it away,
Yeah.
but it's going to be a strong pumpamental for all communities to incentivize new value creation. And guys, one thing to add on top of that, please don't go off and start doing things without all the information. All right, don't try to think you're smart or front run anything or go and do crazy stuff. Just chill. The information will come out. Once you guys have all the information, you go from there. Just very important. We've had some folks hop in our chat, and they're already strategizing. They don't have 25% of the information here. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. So ultimately, we're going to be connecting and unifying through this DEX that constantly buys and burns Unifier token with all of the communities, including Hex 5555 stakers. In addition, there will likely be other projects that have trustless yield. I believe the future of this next bull run and even institutional money is going to be looking for trustless yield. And that's the thing I think that's going to really shift because people are tired of getting rugged and people are tired of trusting centralized authorities. But this is a goal. And you guys have heard this probably before from me that if we're going to unlock generosity, right? If we're going to literally go out to people where there's trust and we're going to say, hey, unlock this value in community, it can be transformative. Because, Brandon, I think my number one, this is like the antithesis of UBI, which is universal basic income. The centralized planners think that AI is going to take over the world and robots are going to take your job and they're going to have to hand out the money. And of course, they're going to want to do it with a CBDC in your digital ID. They're going to want to control all these things because they're going to displace so many people. And that's the way in which they gain control. This is the opposite of that. Is that when you go into places of trust where there's already value and you unlock this value, it gives the people an opportunity to say, we're not using your money, we're using our money. And the beauty of that is instead of having to take a handout from a centralized authority, you work together as a group to provide for the community. And you see this in healthcare. I don't know if you've been a part of a company that said, we're not doing a healthcare system. We're just going to pool our resources and we're going to provide essentially our own insurance to our own community. A lot of big companies have done this in the past. This is very similar to that.
hey, Briz, to answer your question, Briz says, do I get a claim per 5555 or one claim per wallet that has any number of 5555 stakes? Don't know yet. Guys, this we've got everything kind of planned out, and we need to be able to test these things and make sure that they're right. So, Briz, I can't honestly tell you yet what that's going to look like, but we'll be sure to get that out as soon as we can.
But we unlock so much more. It's so much more efficient and it's completely decentralized. And so we reject centralized planners. We reject UBI. And we say, what would it look like if it's your country, if it is your community? Literally saying, we're going to work together to unlock it. Now we have the unifying concept with a DEX that always buys and burns and a token that unifies all of these projects. We believe that this can be a reason why communities want to be with us, meaning in our freedom ecosystem. And so, folks, we are thinking about how do you free the captives? And this is what we believe is the next step to do that.
Yeah, and Matt, one of the things that I haven't really discussed with you personally, I've
Uh-oh.
thought about this quite a bit. Yeah. um, so one of the things that I've learned making content about crypto and talking to thousands of people and helping folks, this and that, you've got to meet these people where they're at.
Yeah.
So we have a target audience of people who are no coiners, and we're targeting existing infrastructure, existing communities that, like you said, already have that trust established. Well, what about the people that are actually in crypto that don't understand what real crypto is?
Right.
I think that Freedom Swap is going to be a gateway now, potentially too, Matt, multiple chains potentially, but this will be a gateway into the community that we have, into the community of content creators, into the community of trust that we've established. And we're going to be able to use Freedom Swap as a gateway also into Pulse Chain. And
Yep.
I think that that's a really, really strong and powerful narrative. And I, I don't want people to think that once Pulse Chain is launched, that everything on Ethereum is just going to go away.
Yep.
It's not going to go away. There's people that have 15-year stakes on Ethereum. There's people that have, Hedron and HSIs. And one of the questions is, are HSIs going to count? And guys, here's what I got to tell you. I can't commit to that right now, but make no mistake, we want everybody involved if it's possible in a safe
Yep.
way.
Yep.
So
And that's a good
there's a
answer to War Ants here too.
yeah,
Yeah, anything. I mean, if we look at how stakes are made, HSIs from Staker app, all of those things, we want to accommodate those. Because here's the thing: what do we want to do? We want to unify all projects that
yeah.
have trustless yield. Those are going to be primarily our community projects. And here's the thing, folks: I don't see anyone else out there that has the ability to leverage the scale of no coiners that we do. Going out to places where crypto has not penetrated and provide them with a gift and give to them these contracts, this education, all of this stuff to unlock value for themselves. This is a huge catalyst for change in the financial system. And we want to lean into that. So anything we can do, because what do we want? I mean, I'm just being completely transparent with you. We want people to be engaged. So every 30 days, they're going to be able to come back and get more versus just a one time thing. And they're also going to be able to participate in a DEX, and they would want to swap on this DEX on Ethereum side because they know that it is pumping by buying and burning on the Unifier token. And that takes pressure and sell pressure off all of these other project tokens. So very, very exciting. But yes, we're going to accommodate as much as we can because the more, the better.
And we're giving you guys as much detail as we can right now. Just trust and believe. Matt and I are the type of folks. Don't ever trust me or believe me, guys. You got if you're hanging around here long enough, that's right. All right. So that like to, under promise and over deliver. So there are some details we're leaving out and we'll kind of release those as we go on.
Yeah. In Hex Force 1, the idea is that there is no supply. Details obviously haven't been worked out there, but that you mint the supply, right? That's the whole point of this. It's
And again, we'll talk about all the tokenomics. We're going to get into the nitty gritty of all that stuff too. So it's just, we want to be able to service the people who are still on the Ethereum side because there's going to be a lot of value over there. And there's going to be a lot of value transferred back and forth. Okay. So, and again, this is not something where we're competing with PulseX. That's not the whole purpose of this at all. This is to be on the Ethereum side. And it's also to continue our marketing to try to pick up people who aren't already part of this thing. And this could just be another avenue. This is just another way to be able to do that. One of the problems that we have is when we're onboarding like the T&M, for example, and even the UniFyer folks, it's really, really difficult to do a step-by-step and explain things from start to finish to get a brand new person, to get them to have enough knowledge to be able to execute at a safe level in this world. So, one of the things we'd like to do is say, hey, listen, here's the token. Maybe it's UniFyer, maybe it's Texan. Oh yeah, guess what? We also have a decentralized exchange, Freedom Swap. Okay, and we actually built Freedom Swap through our company Infinite. This was done by there's no donations, there's no sacrifice. This is a PPM for accredited investors only. And we can build Freedom Swap in such a way that's going to make it as easy as possible for a brand new person to come and interact with it. Now, if you think about that and you think about our goal and our mission through Infinite is actually to go proactively reach out to communities now. That's part of this. So, maybe we have 5 or 10 communities over the next 5 or 10 years, and we can all tell them to be pointed at Freedom Swap, and those communities grow. As those communities grow, activity on that DEX grows as well. So we're making our own little layer 2 kind of ecosystem that's kind of encapsulated by all the other things, all the liquidity that's tied between projects and just all this really, really cool stuff here, folks. Really, really cool stuff. We're building the infrastructure, okay? We're out in the middle of the desert where 2 roads are intersecting. We're plopping down, We're plopping down a general store. All right. And, we're propping down a saloon, and we're building things out slowly but surely.
It's not to be distributed to a group. It's what you get for holding one of these stakes. Okay. And
And we'll
that's
talk about that. We'll
yeah.
talk about those details, the pump, we'll
Yep.
talk about that.
Okay. So let me continue with this. So what are we doing and how are we doing it and why are we sharing this with you? Because here's essentially our timeline. We launched a Texan token on January 6th. We've got a May launch. Okay, so we'll have a March donation phase for the nonprofit organization for UniFyer, that's out of the Philippines, and then a May launch. And then we're looking at July for Freedom Swap and for Unifier. Those will come out together. And then our continued token, next token communities. Okay. So, with that timeline comes the investment that we're doing. We are communicating with and providing to, we're looking to raise $3 million from accredited investors only. Accredited investors are people that have at least $1 million of net worth, or they have $300,000 joint combined income that's provable. Here's the thing, our legal team basically said this idea of, and we've been so discouraged, this idea of doing sacrifices and all these things. The people that actually do investments want to look at private placement memorandums. They want to look at an executive summary. They want to see if it's something that fits what they're trying to do. And they want to basically, give me the formal disclosures and everything. And so we've spent the time, energy, and effort to do a PPM. And so this is only for accredited investors. And so the process by which we're going to raise $3 million, the benefit to investors is anyone that's a part of this will have a pro rata share of all future community tokens airdropped at no value. So the big story here is we're a software development firm called Infinite. That's how we're formalizing ourselves. But anyone that's a part of this, that is a part of this investment, is going to have the benefit of participating with us in all future tokenized communities, and that's where the really attractive upside is. However, you have to be accredited, number one, and number two, if you want to know more, um, you need to request an executive summary. Now, you may be somebody who's like, hey, I'm not an accredited investor, nor would I be willing to sign documentations verifying that, but I do know somebody who might be willing to. This is a unique opportunity in the bottom of the bear market to be a part of something that has longer term. So, not just a token, not just a sacrifice, but when you're talking to professional people, if you said to them, hey, just throw crypto at this random address, and well, what am I going to get? There's nothing. It's a sacrifice. This is not that. It's actually the opposite of it. We are disclosing everything, all risks on a true private placement memorandum for only accredited investors. And so the process by which we're doing that is sharing an executive summary with anybody who wants to see it. And you can get that executive summary by emailing. And some people don't like email. So if you don't like email, do not email, do not participate in this. This is not for everyone. So there's a kind of a short list of people who have already shown interest. We wanted to share this one time out publicly. So I'm putting in the chat, it's Matt at b4.vc.
Sorry, guys, muted. So what I was saying here was we wanted to make sure that this thing had legs to stand on well into the future. All right. Now, you guys know that I report on crypto stuff all day, every day, and I dig into the paperwork and I look at the documents and I look at the executive orders and I see the behaviors of the people that are making these decisions about crypto. And one thing that I can say that the head guy at the SEC right now, that is a man that is not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. In fact, he's probably going to be promoted. And with that said, he's going to have a lot of influence over what happens at crypto. And he's locking crypto down. And I don't want to be in a situation in the future where this thing doesn't have legs to stand on. So that's why we're creating Infinite. And that's why we are doing the PPM. Okay? Fully disclosed. Complete disclosure. So I wanted to make that clear. And let's see what else Matt has to say.
Is the email address that you would send. I put that in the chat there. So Matt, M-A-T-T, at b4.vc. If you want a copy of the executive summary for yourself or for someone else you have to send me an email there to get it. Okay, that's the way and that's the process. You can reach out to Brandon on Telegram as well, or myself on Telegram. But this is the formal process. And here's the thing: if you don't want to be doxxed and you don't want to be connected, you don't want anybody to know who you are, do not participate in any of this stuff. But this is what we are doing. We're raising $3 million. $1 million of it's going to be for the product development, marketing, and community development, and the remaining 2 million will be used as liquidity on the Freedom Swap DEX. And so you'll learn more information about that as we continue.
Yep, and one of the important things through this process, Matt, maybe talk to them just very briefly. If we don't hit that goal, what actually happens to those funds? Those funds are actually returned back to after a certain amount of time. So it's not like we touch this and we keep it. It's got to be returned back if we don't hit our goal.
Yeah, and I think that the important thing is, us not making any claims right now is read the PPM. If you're a accredited investor and you want the PPM, get the executive summary, see what you think about it, and then you have to sign an NDA, and then you receive the full package. And we've
All right, so we want to make sure that through this, we are able to connect all of our projects together in such a way that moving forward, they can all rise together as well, because that is what is going to happen. And we want to go this route because freedom and sovereignty are something that are it is very, very important to us. It's very important to us. And for some people, like in the media, and I was listening to this tonight, if you listen to the media, they make light of the fact that somebody were to say freedom and sovereignty. They say, oh, freedom, that's just a subjective word. It can mean anything. It means anything to somebody who doesn't feel the way that we feel. We understand what it means. A lot of us do. A lot of us in this chat understand what it means. So yeah, we're going to attach that feeling and we're going to attach that understanding to this little ecosystem that we're creating, which is an offshoot of something that's absolutely amazing, that has taught us incredible things. and a person who's taught us incredible things. And we're taking this, and our focus is going to be freedom and sovereignty. And I'm going to be unapologetic about it. And you're going to have people that you'll see in the future, I promise you. They'll say, oh, freedom and sovereignty. Look, they're, you know, that's what they do. They try to make light of the situation. There's nothing to make light of. Freedom, sovereignty, and liberty are important. And we want those types of folks, those types of like-minded folks, to be centered around what we're trying to build right now. From now, moving forward. Very important. All right, let's check. Sorry about the audio stuff, guys. It's been crazy. We'll do a little bit of, you guys want some music? You want some, no drum and bass. We'll do some funk. Nah, we'll do this. Old stuff. Cool. Viber Finance CEO in the house. What's up, my man? How's life? Everything sounds good. Hopefully now with the mic. Cool. Man, he sounds so much more positive than usual right now. Guys, I'm excited about this. I'm really excited about this. This is significant. This is very significant. Corey Tate, what's up? Tribal Sounds. If there isn't freedom, nothing else matters. That's right. If there isn't freedom, there's nothing else that matters. If there isn't liberty, nothing else matters. You know, I was watching a video earlier today, guys. There's no doubt in many of the people's minds in this chat that society is taking a tailspin for the worse. What's the best way to fight back against that? The best way to fight that against that is to organize. Organize our communities. And I'm talking about in real life. Organize our financial energy. We're talking about the blockchain. They were talking about Russia. You know, back in what, late 1900s? Or not late 1900s, 1919, 1913 maybe? It might have been 1913. At some point during Stalin's Russia, the government said it would be a really, really good idea to start taking children away from their parents. Guys, this stuff happens quick. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen in the States. All I'm saying that is on long enough time horizons, you can't put all of your faith in other people's ability to make decisions for you that you can make better for yourself. And right now, we are leading the charge in that we are making good decisions for ourselves, and we hope that you guys see that. That is the purpose, that is the goal, and that is the stated mission, and it always has been. Crypto is so important for every community. Regardless, you know, we can trash communities left and right because their crypto isn't as good as our crypto, but ultimately we are fighting a similar fight here, folks. It's okay to rough people up, and it's okay to teach people the right way to do things, but the more doors that are open, the better. Justice, what's up, man? More like freedom is real till your kids can be taken away from you almost a year before without due process. Ugh. Slighted X, yeah. Ramon Carrillo, it's the smartest you've ever sounded. I hope I can flip that switch and go back to sounding dumb. It's a lot better that way. Ignorance is bliss. Still checking chat. I thought about it a while. We need an S&P 500 like token for the various RH spinoffs. Yeah. You know, I was thinking about that too. When you saw the Bluebird index that launched after CZ gave Elon Musk $500 million, and it's an index based on the time-weighted average price of Mask, BNB, and Doge, you know? So if you have your own DEX, you can kind of, in a way, be your own oracle. Unifier is going to seek to bring these people and these projects together, but also incentivize people doing the right behavior for their own projects. Okay, this isn't a leech. This isn't anything. If you're going to make a swap on Ethereum, why wouldn't you make it on Freedom Swap if it's liquid enough? Just saying. J-Man says, I trust in the Lord. Absolutely. United we stand, divided we die. Davis in my AR-10, I trust. That sounds like Davis to me. What it do, Hexicans? Moondog, 4 more kids, one of whom's his birthday today. February, baby. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it. I wanted to talk to you guys about that. If you scroll back here, well, I'll just tell you right now. Hold on. If you're curious, if you want to get the paperwork and you can sign the NDA, go to Matt at bravo4.bravocharlie, b4.bc. B is in Brandon. So Matt at b4.bc. Just let him know you're interested. You got to be an accredited investor. And then we'll go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all over the world, as always, do not like, comment, or subscribe. I don't know why you're here. And
Rags to riches. Do not like, comment, or subscribe.
I'm out.